Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So basically, let's jump right in to the training program, the Nigerian Jubilee program. So there's the longer awaited online training, which you guys have been waiting for a long time. There's the implementing partners, the federal government, the UNDP, and the European Union. So let's jump right in the introduction. So what are the objectives of this training? Objectives of this training is to tell you more about the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows Program, for you to get to understand the benefits of the program, the requirements and the eligibility of the program, how you can be eligible, and what it takes to be shortlisted, the screening process, and this is basically the main part I know all of you came into this class for: how to prepare for the aptitude test. Then finally the conclusion, which will be the frequently asked questions and answers. So what is the Nigerian Jubilee program about, Nigerian Jubilee Fellows program about? I know you guys have countless number of times heard what this program is about. It's an empowerment program for the graduates around the country. So you everyone has gone through this. Everyone that actually applied for this should know the basics explanation of what the Nigerian Jubilee Fellowship program is. So let's jump to the next slide. You already know it's just one program for the whole 36 states plus the Federal Capital Territory, and there are going to be only 20,000 selected fellows from the whole 300,000 plus and down to 100,000 plus. There will be only 20,000 selected fellows for this first set of the first 12 months of this program. So why the Jubilee program basically? Now, for you to know the difference between the Nigerian Jubilee Fellowship program from the other programs is that this is unique. It has foreign partners, although most of the other programs also have foreign partners. It's unique, it's a force of its kind. It's fully controlled by an external body, not by the federal government. So you shouldn't worry about influence of the federal government. So what is this whole thing about? Now it's targeted at the youths, to target the youth with talents, with skills, place them in a job, right? Place 20,000 people in a particular private or public sector of in the country. Then this organization will groom you and give you the resources, materials and stuff like that for 12 months and help you grow and empower you guys to expand basically, and how you could actually be free and how you can actually impact the economy. So there's a transparency. You guys should know that this program is going to be equal. So a lot of people have been asking, how is this program going to be run? How is this program going to be shared? It's going to be equally shared along all 36 states of the country. So you just don't need to put more concentration on basically, okay, my state is big, my state is small, it's going to be equally done. Whether both male and between males and females, there's going to be equality between disability between every single person. There's no going to be any there's not going to be any form of discrimination in this program. So what's the benefit of this program? You might ask, what's the benefit of this program? There are tons of benefits of this program, but let's jump right to this point down here. Fellows will be matched with host organizations based on their interests as well as those aligned to the organization. They will receive monthly stipends from the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows program, and there will be three-part way available for the Jubilee Fellows at the end of the active engagement in the fellowship. Now, there are tons of things which people will get. You get high performing um, Jubilee Fellows may be retained in those host organization. Uh, Fellows with interest in entrepreneurship would have greatest sufficient skills and knowledge on the job, which will be invaluable as their pursuit of other opportunities, maybe in the entrepreneurship space. You will get skills which will actually help you. Now, with the newly acquired job skills and competency experience, it will be easy for you to actually go out into the economic space and help you in future jobs, basically, because you'll be able to have a 12 months job experience in the particular sector of your interest. So you all know this is going to be 12-month placement in a private or a public sector or a development sector or an institution. The monthly stipend is 100,000 naira to cover all your living expenses, and you get access to coaching and mentorship from the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows program and other private, public, and development sectors and mentors. So what makes this program different from all other entrepreneurship program is that it's unique. It's the first of its kind. It's not influenced by any political power or political affiliation in any way. Now, we all know what it takes to be eligible, but let's go down through the first 10 steps on how you could be eligible. So you should know, if you've applied already, you should check through this. You must be a Nigerian, you must be a fresh graduate with a bachelor's degree or HND certificate from any discipline and graduated not earlier than 2017. Graduate with at least second class lower 2.2 for bachelor's degree or upper credits for HND certificate holder. Be at most 30 years old, not currently engaged in any employment, have completed the mandatory Nigerian Youth Service Corps, which is the NYSC, and have the certificate, or you might have a certificate of exemption from the NYSC. Now, demonstrate interest and commitment in choice career field, demonstrate interest and commitment to contributing to Nigerian social economic development, and have excellent time management and professional attitude, have good verbal and written communication skills. So you will need to have all this in place to be able to be selected as one of the 20,000 fellows. Now, the shortlisting process is basically clear. It's stated on the website. You could see the 5 stages of the whole program. Now, the shortlisting process falls under this first point, right? we're still under this first point where the shortlisting process is. Now, once you have been shortlisted and the all host organization also have been selected, fellows will be matched with their with a selected host organization. Please note, you are not selecting your host organization. We'll come down to that. So the first stage is the application and the matching. Second stage is the incubation and onboarding. The third stage is deployment. So we're still at the first stage. After you've been matched to your host organization, that is when you go into incubation and onboarding of March Fellows to the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows program. Then the deployment of matched fellows to host organization for the 12 months placement phase. Now, offboarding basically after the 12 months, the offboarding of alumni pool of talent after the 12 month placement phase. Then there's the alumni network where you get access to opportunities, profiling, and exposure to job opportunities. Now, this is the main part. I know a lot of you have come for the aptitude test. How will I write the aptitude test? What should I expect from the aptitude test? Now, let's basically look at what the aptitude test means. You need to get a basic definition of what the aptitude test is. A lot of you already know what the aptitude test is, but let's look again what simple definition of what an aptitude test is. An aptitude test is an assessment used to determine a candidate's cognitive abilities and personalities. They're extremely common to job assessments as they can be used to predict the likelihood of a candidate's success in a job role. Whereas eliminating any bias through its standardized administration. Basically, aptitude tests are like exams you go through, or basically screening you go through, where you are assessed, basically mentally assessed. So we just jump right into what to expect from the aptitude test. Now, please note the aptitude test won't be that difficult as long as you have ground knowledge in your area of interest. Now, all questions will come from your area of interest and specification, which you provided when filling out the application form. The aptitude test will be done online. The aptitude test will be done online. The aptitude test will be used to assess the applicant's capacity and qualification. And the aptitude test will come in a form of a job interview, so prepare the same way. Please note, it will come from your area of interest which you provided. So the area of interest which you selected from which area of interest here, or your area of specification which you selected, where the questions will actually come from. So as long as you have ground knowledge of your particular industry or your particular sector, you will be able to go through the aptitude test easily. Now, the last part, which is the frequently asked questions. The frequently asked questions, so a lot of you might have been asking, do I get to choose what organization I want to work for? Now, no fellow or organization will be matched by fellows. All the fellows will be matched to organizations by an independent talent management agency based off the fellows' interests and organizations requirements. Now, you will not pick where you go to. Basically, from what your interest you have provided and this point, you'll be matched with an organization, with a host organization based on your interest which you have provided down here. Now, do I get a chance to indicate a preferred location of my work placement? Now, in the application form, we all got a place to indicate your location of work. Yes. But if there is no place, basically, you're not guaranteed to work in that particular location if there's no availability of a work placement in that location. You'll be posted to somewhere, a state closer to that place that has a work placement for your particular interest. Now, what is the selection process for the fellows? Go now, if you look deep into this, you understand the selection process. This will be on the screen. You could read through it, you could pause the video, you could read through it. Let me just read through everything so you could understand. The selection process for fellows is as follows. Eligibility criteria for prospective fellows has been developed and is available on the eligibility criteria page on the website, so you could go check that out. The number 2 point, prospective fellows will submit an application electronically against the criteria through the application page of the site. An application submitted through any other medium will not be considered. So all this part is based on the application. The third part too is based on the application, which all of you have done. All of you have already done the application. Now, once all of you have already done the application and you have received the first email, you should know that you are set for the aptitude test, which is upcoming. So I don't need to go through all this, but you could go down to the website, check the eligibility criteria section, and you will see this there. Now, will the fellows be paid? Now, as we've said earlier, all fellows will be paid a monthly stipend of 100,000 naira. There's an upkeep fee of 100,000 naira to cover up all your monthly expenses and your living costs. Monthly, 100,000 naira. Now, does the work placement guarantee full-time employment? There's no full-time employment guaranteed, but you will get the skills needed to get a job in the job market. And also note, a host organization could like your personality and like your character and like your work ethics, and they decide to retain you. So a fellow can get retained in a particular organization which they have worked in or which they have been posted to. What happens after the 12 months placement period? Now, what happens after the 12-month placement period is hard. Now, we've said this earlier, high performing Jubilee may be retained. Fellows with interest in entrepreneurship who get the greatest skills. We've said all this earlier. So this is basically what happens after the 12 months placement period. Now, once you get notified about the aptitude test. How you could get access to write it is you go straight to the website, you go to the login page, which will look like this. You put in your email, you put in your password, you log in, and there'll be a section which says online test. Once you click on the online test, you'll be able to write the aptitude test, but you will be given a notification about that. So thank you all for coming to this class. Thank you all for joining this class. Basically, we are connecting graduates with opportunities. So believe in yourself and just hold on to your belief. So if you have any questions, you could send it directly to any of the admin who gave you access to this class, or whatever of our social media platforms. You could send your questions and we'll get right to you. Thank you.